here today is to accept this award, the Best of the East. I'm really proud and honored to accept this award because although I'm an American and I grew up here and I worked on American films, I still and will always consider myself a Hong Kong actor. And so to represent Hong Kong and represent the East in Hong Kong cinema is very important to me because I grew up watching Hong Kong films. I was a fan of Hong Kong films before I got into the business. So to be able to be an ambassador for Hong Kong film here in the US is really, really special to me. So thank you again for bestowing this award on me. To talk about this movie, Cold War 1994, I hadn't been in a Hong Kong film for 6 years prior to this, and it was a really wonderful homecoming to come back to work on this film. Not only because I got to work with familiar faces, but it was great to be able to connect 3 generations of actors. We have Chow Yun-fat, Aaron Kwok, Tony Leung, and then we have Terrence Lau and Louise Wong, and then we have me sandwiched right in the middle there. So there's 3 generations of Hong Kong talent that you guys get to see in a new kind of fresh film that is also very familiar in that it still falls in the Hong Kong action genre in some ways. So I hope you enjoy the film. And then lastly, I want to thank the New York Asian Film Festival for always being a champion of Hong Kong film. It's because of people like Sam that make our work spread all over around the world and makes us, who we are today. So we appreciate that. I also want to thank the Hong Kong Economic Trade Office for their support of this. It's very important that they are the ambassadors for our film work and the work we do in Hong Kong to spread around the world. So thank you very much. And thank you everyone for coming out tonight and watching this great film.
And obviously it's like quite a departure from the other Cold War films in that way.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about how you got involved with this production?
Well, first of all, I remember being asked to play like a cameo role in the first one, but the schedule didn't work out and I couldn't do it. I'm glad I couldn't do it because I probably wouldn't be able to play this character afterwards, so that was a good thing. But this came about, I got a call from Bill Kong, their producer, and he explained the intention of the film, that he wanted to kind of bring back the old school Hong Kong feel to film and to expand on this Cold War series. So the Cold War 1 and 2 is very internalized within the police force, that kind of thing. But this expands to not only the entire city, but to all walks of life in the city, because it's talking about this preparation for the handover and what happens during that period and how it affects everybody, from the rich family dynasties to the politicians, to the policemen, to the beat cop. It affected everyone. And it's interesting because I was there in Hong Kong at that time, but I was a 22-year-old kid, so I didn't really understand the real impact of something like that happens. But it's cool how they were able to incorporate that history into this film, but also be a cool action movie as well on top of that. So I think it works on many levels. I think our director did a really, really good job of understanding the situation and doing the research and kind of capturing the parts that needed to be shown and kind of give you an education of what it was like during that time period.
Yeah, because it's like at this...
I had just finished university, I'd studied architecture, but I knew I wasn't gonna get into the field. And I was looking for a creative job. And then I was in Hong Kong for the handover. I wanted to witness that. It was kind of my college graduation present, a trip to Hong Kong.
What a
yeah, it changed my life, literally. And yeah, I was spotted in a bar to do a TV commercial, and then the director of my first film, Yang Fan, for Bishonen, he saw that commercial and then cast me as a lead role in his film. And I was like, are you crazy? I've never acted before and I can barely speak Cantonese. Are you sure you want to do this? And so I actually turned him down. And probably for like a month, he kept calling me, asking me to reconsider.
Wow.
And then finally at the end, my mom was like, you should do it. She was like, you can always fall back in architecture, but when are you going to be offered a movie again? She said, you should just try it. And so I have to really thank my mom for really pushing me to do that. Because I remember I had a job offer for an architecture firm, and then this script and this offer, and I was like, what should I do? What should I do? And my mom's like, do the movie. Do the movie. You don't know what's going to happen with that. And that literally changed my life.
I mean, that's literally like a movie. Like that it could be like that dramatic of a choice and a turn.
Yeah, I don't really like to tell that story to other actor friends who like struggle many years to get to that point. Especially Asian American actors who like still struggling for 20 years now. But yeah, it's interesting because like I grew up in the States. I never thought that that was an opportunity for me because I didn't see people like me on screen, but I did see people like me on Hong Kong films. So that's why I became a huge fan of Hong Kong films as a teenager, because I was like, that's my representation. Like Jet Li, Jackie Chan, Chow Yun-fat, like cool dudes on screen. And it was like, what I grew up was the like Long Duck Dong from 16 Candles, right? And so it was such a stark contrast. So I never thought that there was an opportunity for me to be an actor in the US. So it just never crossed my mind, you know, until Hong Kong gave me that opportunity. You know?
Yeah.
So when I was saying earlier, accepting the award, that I feel like I always represent Hong Kong, I feel like everything I have today is because the opportunities that were given to me by not only the Hong Kong film industry, but the audiences in Hong Kong for accepting this ABC kid coming over and doing these films with them, yeah.
What was your learning curve like acting in Cantonese? I mean,
Oh, that was really hard. Like learning a craft of acting and then also learning one of the hardest languages in the world to learn at the same time. That was difficult, embarrassing sometimes, but just had to push through. Yeah.
Well, I've tried to learn Cantonese myself because my husband's from Hong Kong, and I can attest to that challenge. I don't envy that process on screen.
Yeah, until this day, I still can't read 100%. I'm maybe 20% literate, so I have to rewrite every script in my own form of pinyin, Cantonese pinyin, that only I can read. No one else can read. So it's for what, almost 30 years now.
Language.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
So going back to Cold War '94, I mean, if this is your first time back in 6 years, was there like both a refresh, a learning curve in terms of acting in Cantonese, but also in terms of like working with a Hong Kong production? It's very different than US.
Sure. No, I was a little nervous going back, but then the first day, like I went into the office to do the costume fitting, and I just saw all these familiar faces, that I've grown up with, these people that I've grown up with. And this is the thing about the Hong Kong industry versus, let's say, mainland China or the US. Both those industries are huge. So there's a possibility you could work with someone and never see them again. But in Hong Kong, when I did like 60 films there, I worked with everybody. So from everyone from a PA to, the most celebrated director, everybody. And so when I walked into that office, it was like, it's like a homecoming. It felt so familiar, like a glove that fits perfectly. And then immediately I just got into it. So there was, even the Cantonese, like I hadn't spoken Cantonese in a film in a few years, but that just came back right away. And it felt good, it felt familiar, and so it was actually really emotional for me. Like I didn't tell anybody about it, but I felt really moved by the fact that I was back in Hong Kong doing Hong Kong films again.